That's the way my life is led. So I really love meditation because I tend to have a wonderfully full life, and I treasure the time spent in sacred communion. So thank you all for joining us. And I will sit down now. But before I sit down, I'm actually still a little bit rough, so I have to stand. Do any of you have to stand before we meditate? Stretch? No? Okay. Sonia, I see you. Okay. Just me. Okay. So I will invite you to just relax in your chair. Notice how it feels to sit in your chair, how the chair holds your body, how your back is relaxed against the back of the chair, and your feet are planted on the floor. And I invite you, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes or else gently avert your gaze down to the floor. And everything in this, what I call mindful awareness meditation, is relaxed. Everything is organic. Nothing is forced. And so I invite you to just relax your arms and your hands on your lap, palms up, gently, gently folded up. And again, just notice how the chair holds your body, how your bum feels against the seat of the chair, how the chair supports you, how your feet are on the ground, how the ground supports you. And just breathe. Meditation isn't yoga where you're breathing to have this breath exercise. Meditation is a mindfulness exercise, being mindful of staying present in the moment. And so we use the breath as a tool to stay present. And so I invite you to breathe like you normally breathe, but with your mouth closed. And as you do so, gently rest your tongue against your upper teeth. That just kind of is a nice resting place while you are breathing through the nose with your mouth closed. And again, everything here is a suggestion. Nothing is forced. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And so I invite you to breathe in and out through the nose. Feel how that breath of life flows through your body, where it comes from, how it comes out through the nostrils, slightly warmer, and how this is always circulating as this life force, this breath. And as you breathe in and out, gently and silently say to yourself, in with each in-breath and out with each out-breath. So it's in, out, in, out. And as you do this, you most likely will have a thought or 100. And what you do with that thought is you simply notice it. You very gently, silently acknowledge it with a label of thinking. Just thinking, thinking, thinking. And you let it go as you go back to focusing on the breath. In, out. In, out. And you might notice the same thing with the feeling of the body, sensational feeling of the body or emotional feeling. Again, simply acknowledge it with the generic label of feeling, feeling, feeling. And then back to the breath. In, out. In, out. And the same thing if you hear something. Generic labeling, noticing it, hearing, hearing, hearing. Back to the breath. In, out. In, out. And in this last 1 or 2 minutes, I invite you to gently place your hand or 2 hands over your heart center, but only if you feel comfortable doing so. This is your meditation, your time, your space. But if you feel comfortable, just place 1 hand or 2 hands over your heart center. And if you feel that beating of your heart, just notice it. But you're still focusing on the breath. In, out. In, out. And whenever you're ready, very gently, very slowly, bring your attention back to the room.
Almost in time.
So we're gonna get everybody up for the. You get everybody up for the first song?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Still keep coming. Give it about 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're stragglers like me. My hands are cold.
Everybody ready to sing a little bit? Yeah, okay. I'm sure some of you know this song. So I want to hear your voices ringing out really in a joyful spirit.
All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning around again, and the years keep rolling by. Seems like I've been here before, I can't remember when. I have this funny feeling that we'll all be together again. No straight lines make up my life, and all my roads have bends. There's no clear beginnings, and no far, no dead ends. All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning around and again, the years keep rolling by. I found you 1,000 times, wish you've done the same. But then we lose each other like a children's game. As I find you here again, a thought runs through my mind. Love is like a circle, let's go round one more time, yeah! And all my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning around again, the years keep rolling by. Years keep rolling by. What a great choir. You guys are wonderful.
And the years keep rolling by, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. Oh, so many circles. The circle of life. Yeah, circles. Welcome, my name is Mel Hirsch. I am one of the 7 licensed active professional practitioners here at the, I almost gave you the wrong name. At the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott, Arizona, USA. And I will also let you know that we also have 4 practitioner students in training. They are 2/3 of the way in. And so we are going to be augmented pretty soon as those folks kind of learn what it's like to do it Prescott style.
No, I'm teasing you.
Well, I wouldn't call it a secret exactly, but the truth is, this is a process. And when I took practitioner training, back in the days of steam microphones, our practitioner class at a fairly large church started out with 23 people. There were 9 left standing. And then of the 9, 5 were ultimately licensed. And so that's why we kind of look at this not necessarily as a fait accompli. Now, I will tell you, as somebody that's been in movement a little while, that has changed. We've gotten better at teaching. People are learning quicker. You guys have been learning quicker and faster, and things are accelerating. And is that a good thing? I would say so. So just keep your eye and your spirit and your patient going. And I want to remind us all, whether you're here or whether you're home, or maybe you're listening to us at a completely different day and time, we are here for y'all. My favorite phrase from this place is that love is spoken here. And it's a judgment-free zone, and you will see so many examples of that as the service unfolds today. So, why don't I ask you to quiet us down and pray us in, because that's what we practitioners do.
Thank you, Mel. And just to know, I was mischievous. There's no secrets in the mind and heart of God, and we're all one with and of God. My mischievous sense of humor. So I've been sharing with you, just to let you know, 40 days of gratitude from Unity. And I think gratitude is appropriate for every day. So this is a reading from Gratitude for Life. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. And that's from Melody Beattie. And it continues with saying that approaching life with gratitude means that as you appreciate each event, each person, each beautiful sight, each moment of laughter, and you are also not just appreciating that, you're also banishing anxiety. You can't be thankful and anxious at the same time. So I invite you now to breathe in thankfulness and breathe out gratitude that allows us to experience freedom, joy, beauty, harmony, and truth. So if you wish to just close your eyes for a second, breathing in thankfulness and breathing out gratitude. And so we're ever so grateful for coming together today, knowing that this is the anointed and appointed time of coming together in this one moment, right here, right now, in this sacred community, in this sacred sanctuary, knowing that we carry within each of us a sacred sanctuary. and that we are one sanctuary with and of that absolute, infinite, eternal sanctuary of all that I call God. And so recognizing that God is all that there is within each of us, within every being, every moment in time, everything. I speak my word that we know we are always one with and of this allness and fullness of God, and one with each other on the unseen side of life. And in realizing this, we are ever so grateful for knowing that we are here today to be blessed by the word spoken by Spirit through Reverend Jeff, for our beautiful musicians, the Agostinos, for Bob doing his beautiful sign language, for Mel as service leader, and for Clay as tech. It all comes together. And we're so grateful for one and every being here, knowing that we are a community that comes together to grow and to know Spirit all the more. And so I just know that whatever needs to be heard is heard, whatever needs to be taken home is taken home. And we're so grateful for Reverend Tracy, who's here with us in spirit and guides us and leads us. And we're just ever so grateful for all that there is. And so with my heart full of gratitude and thanksgiving, I simply release this word into love and law. And so it is.
Okay, we're going to do a song here now. This is a song you guys have done here a lot. It's almost part of your kind of tradition. But I want you to think of it a little bit differently today. Last time I was here and I heard Jackson do it, he did it beautifully, but it was a church song. I want it to be a song that you're singing to your beloved. I wanted you to think, if you're a guy, think you're Frankie Avalon and you're singing to it next to the cello on the beach in Malibu.
Or Radha singing to
Oh,
Krishna.
Radha singing to Krishna, that works too. But we want to give it that is, you're singing to your beloved. This is really a love song. This is
From
one of
the
most incredible
heart.
love songs I know. And we put a little bridge in it. The words don't change, but we do a little different little vocal thing, so you're going to have to follow her a little bit on this effort.
Good luck. God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. God is, I am.
That is just beautiful. Thank you, Tom and Krista. Wow, thank you. So now I invite the candle lighters to come forward, and we'll do the candle lighting. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. In this shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. We light a candle for Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. For Islam and its teaching and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God. For Buddhism, the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. For the traditions of the indigenous people everywhere and their close and sacred connections to the earth, sky, and waters. For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace. For the goddess traditions, celebrating the power and wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Would you join us in reading this affirmation? I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God. Love, abundance, and joy. In everything I do, good I seek for myself is what I desire for all beings everywhere.
We'd like to do for you just a brand new song I just wrote. And it's kind of in the spirit of Woody and Pete, a little bit of a call to heart, shall we say.
And a call to hope.
It's
Yes.
called Far Star. Its small light from so far away, helping to guide us through our dark night, so we won't lose our way.
And though it's just a small light, it's part of a rising tide. Angel choir echoing far and wide, and though it's just one note, it's so clear and pure. Wonder,
But I can feel its warm glow on my cold night, casting light before me through the dark.
just a small light, it's part of a rising tide. An angel choir echoing far and wide, and though it's just one note, it's so clear and pure. Wonder,
I can feel its warmth.
just a small light. It's part of a rising tide. An angel choir echoing far and wide, and though it's just one note, it's so clear and pure. It's no wonder
that we
feel
feel
it
this far
was
on a
cold night, and we won't lose our way.
That's magnificent. And there is so much to offer in this teaching that will aid us in not losing our way. Thank you so much for that. You know, the science of mind started out not as a church or a religion. It was kind of like a philosophy that Ernest Holmes came up with an idea that the advances in humankind all seemed to come from one of three places, and they were mutually exclusive. And those three places were science, religion, and philosophy. And now you can see why they seem to be like mutually exclusive. So you already had three things going, and I think all three of them started to say, but I'm right. And he had the thought of, wait a minute, instead of looking at how we're different, how about looking at the commonality, the golden thread that runs through this, all of this stuff. And the more we do that, the clearer our life seems to be. You know, feelings aren't facts, although they sure feel like facts when we're feeling them. And on the feeling side, we've kind of divided those into two basic categories, and that is love or fear. And just about anything can be plunked in one of those two areas. I was reminded that from the love side, that's where higher power, spirit, God, whatever it is that you're choosing to follow, because every single person needs someone or something to follow. That's the action of spirit. That's the action that tells my heart to beat from the moment I get here to the moment I leave, the breath. That's all on the spirit side. On the feeling side, there are only two things that we came into this world from the fear group. As we drew our first breath in this world, there were only two fears that every baby had. They are the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. All the rest we learned. Either somebody gave them to us, or we used our mind to make some decisions and maybe have a fear or two to deal with. And that's what I believe this thing is about sorting out. And today we have a gentleman that has been here 3 times before that I know of. I think this is your 4th, isn't it, Reverend Jeff? Yeah. That's because he's invited around a lot. And I can see why, because we were talking a couple of days ago, and he followed Reverend David Bruner as interim, not an interim, but as a guest speaker at the San Jose Church. And he seems to follow the heavy hitters. And he has been mentored since his ministerial ticket in 22 by some of the finest fellas in the movement. And he's just been kind of laying back and saying, gee, where do I think I'm going next? And so I'm going to break some news that I've been given permission to break. Reverend Jeff has just received a letter of call from a church, and this guy knows who to manifest and where to manifest. It's going to be in Hawaii. Poor guy. So let us celebrate your win. And come on up here and share a little bit of what led to it, all right? Reverend Jeff Hargis.
Thank you. Have I got sound? Not yet. We're working on it. The last time I was here, you guys may have been here, I had this headset on, this big clunky thing, and it kept falling down, and it was, did I turn? Let me check. Hello, check. Check.
Sorry, we'll give you that there. Okay. Use this one?
Thank you. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. We can dangle.
Thanks.
What is this saying? There's got to be a message here. So yes, I just accepted a letter called to East Hawaii and Kauai, and it's not as glamorous as it might sound, because I'll be doing it from Phoenix. I know. So and I will be invited to go and speak, and I'll teach classes online and things like that. But I am still very excited about it. It is with Reverend Beverly Strutt, who has been a great friend of mine, and she was visiting in Phoenix, and we were talking, and I told her, well, right now I don't have a letter of call, and she said, well, you do now. And so I'm very grateful for that, and very grateful to be asked back here to CSL Prescott, and grateful to Reverend Tracy. Thank you so much for inviting me back. And I have got whoever you are out there that is we call them PITs in Phoenix, which is practitioners in training. And I have a special place in my heart for those of you. Who are you? Who are you? So I have a special place in my heart for you, because this process of becoming a practitioner might even be more significant than becoming a minister. The minister is more about there's a little bit of bureaucracy moving through the process, but to become a practitioner, it's like being torn down and then being rebuilt back up into your soul. I know there's one that's nodding at me right now. Bless you on your journey. I know you're going to be magnificent practitioners and a gift to this center. So I love that. Let's give them a round of applause. So I have a story to start with about Abraham Lincoln. And it goes like this. Asked at the height of the Civil War if he was not losing his faith in the Union, President Abraham Lincoln replied, "When I was a young man in Illinois, I boarded for a time with a deacon of the Presbyterian Church. One night I was roused from my sleep by a rap at the door, and I heard the deacon's voice exclaiming, 'Arise, Abraham, the day of judgment has come.'" And what the deacon was mistakenly referring to were the Leonid meteor showers that happen in mid-November every year. And And Lincoln goes on to say, I sprang from my bed and rushed to the window, and I saw the stars falling in great showers. But looking back at them in the heavens, I saw the grand old constellations with which I was so well acquainted, fixed and true in their places. Gentlemen, the world did not come to an end then, nor will the union now. And I bring this story up because it is our work right now, in the midst of what we are experiencing on this planet, to be able to see through the fireworks and all of the stuff that is going around, seeing through that and into the constellations of principle, and to see that always as a fixed location, as something that is law, as something that we can always lean into when things seem to be at unrest. And most of us, and I definitely include myself in this statement, are caught up in this shower of confusion and chaos that is wrapped up with so many different opportunities to isolate and to become divided in our lives. We have examples every single day in the media and everywhere else, and I certainly will not get into that. But the question is, for me as a minister, how do I be with this? Where do I step in, and how do I be with people? And the same question is absolutely relevant for everybody here. Those of you that have stepped into this philosophy, how can we be in the midst of what appears to be chaos and be at peace within ourselves? So today, the name of the title of my talk is From Duality to Divinity, because what I'm thinking about, when I was thinking about this talk the last couple of months, I've had a little while to sit with this talk, that the world is just nutty right now. And so I wanted to, not to bring it to your attention, because you're very well aware that it's a little bit of a nutty place right now. And so I'm going to be talking about duality, of course, or really the illusion of duality, and how it interweaves this idea of separation with everything that we do. And then I'm gently going to be coming into this thing that we call divinity, or cultivating that divine spirit within us, especially when times seem to be in that place of unrest. So I'll begin with the definition. This is from a book called No Boundaries by Ken Wilber, who defines duality and certainly is perfect for the context of this talk. He says, duality is the perception that we are separate from each other, from the divine, and even from our true nature. It is rooted in the mind's tendency to label and categorize, and it thrives on opposites, creating a framework of either or that pits one aspect of life against the other. Now, I will acknowledge that duality has its place for us as we navigate this earth. For example, hot and cold, and safety and danger, but it becomes a barrier in many instances of our spiritual growth. So, for example, how duality sets in. I am separate from others. I am of an island in my own, and sometimes I get to connect with others, but I still feel like I'm an entity of my own. Another one is, God is out there, and I am down here. There is that dude in the sky, which we always refer to when we are explaining the nature of the God that we connect with, but that there is an entity up there, up above, a man looking down with his arms crossed, doling out either judgment or rewards based on how we react. There's another example. Another is that this is sacred and this is secular. So this part, when I am meditating and when I'm in contemplation and when I am speaking an affirmative prayer, oh, it is so sacred. But when I am on the freeway, navigating during traffic or rush hour, I fall into that human response of irritation and anger. And so you know what I mean. We have separated these two things. And one of the best metaphors that I came across as I was researching this talk, it is that of a prism. And I'm going to ask you just to close your eyes and think about a prism. When the light comes in and through it, when the light passes through it, the light appears to split into different colors, forming the rainbow, the reds, the yellows, the purples, violets, and they seem distinct in and of themselves, even disconnected, but in truth, they are part of the same original light. And the same thing goes with duality. Duality works much in the same way, that it fractures our perception, making us believe that we are separate from each other, separate from the divine. But just like the colors of the rainbow, we are all expressions of that infinite source. And this begs the question, what if there was no divide? What if separation itself is the greatest lie that we have ever believed in? It boggles the mind just to think about it, and I make it sound a little bit dramatic because in a way, in the absoluteness of it, it is a core of our principle that we are united, that we are one. But I'm going to ask again for us all to really consider it. What if there was no separation from me and you? From me and Mel, from me and Clay, from me and Bob, from us and life, from us and nature, from us and this earth, from us and the universe. And this drives the questions that will be the most important question that I ask this morning, and that is, if I knew that I was one, how would I be with others? How would I be with myself? How would I be with this planet Earth? And how would I commune with God? It totally shifts for us, I think, or at least it does for me. When I think of it from that perspective, it totally shifts how I interact with the people that I love, the people that I'm surrounded by, and the earth that surrounds me. And so, how do we shift into a place of knowing at our core that that is the truth of who we are? And I was thinking about this yesterday, this transition in my talk, and I was thinking that it's kind of like a 12-step program where the first thing that we have to do is to admit that we have a problem. And so, hi, my name is Jeff, and I have a separation problem. Yay. You've been to the meeting. Recognizing this illusion of duality is the first step. But then what? How do we move simply by, ooh, wow, that's a loud one. How do we move through this and into the lens of unity in us? I like to think, so I had sort of a metaphor for duality. I like to think of our unity as a river, always flowing, always connected. The river doesn't force itself to be whole, it simply is. But along the way, debris can collect, branches can fall in, boulders can even slip from the mountainside and splash into the river itself. But these are momentary, this is a momentary disruption of the flow. And eventually, over time, the current carries the debris away, returning the river to its natural state of movement and harmony. And just like the river, our experience of unity can sometimes be obstructed by resentment, by judgment, by the belief that we are separate, but unity is never lost. It's only obscured, and our work to be done is to find those things that are obscuring it and to reveal the truth of who we are. So how do we do this? How do we allow the river of spirit, the river of our spiritual nature to flow freely in our lives? Well, I've got 3 suggestions for us, and I know that you could think of hundreds of others, but these are just the ones that I had meditated over. The first is practicing active compassion, because compassion dissolves our, it dissolves duality in every sense. It dissolves this idea of separation. And when we truly see others through that lens of compassion, we recognize their struggles and their joys as our own, as reflections of our own. But this isn't just about feeling the feelings for somebody else. It is about acting in a way that acknowledges our shared humanity. Number 2, see the divine in all things. Unity becomes clear when we consciously look for the divine in others. It's the same thing that we do at the end of every single meditation that we participate in. What do? We say, so it is namaste. Namaste being the divine in me sees the divine in you. I know you already know that. And whether it is with a loved one or a stranger or somebody that is at the side of the road with a cardboard box with a sign on the cardboard box, whether it is that individual that seems to be sharing more of the road than we are, whether it is with someone that we love deeply or somebody who challenges us. If we can ask ourselves that question, what is the divine in this individual expressing? And it doesn't come from a place of, what is he trying to express? It's more of that place of curiosity of, what is it that the divine is working in and through him? The third one, serve from a place of oneness. Service is one of the most powerful ways to break the illusion of duality. But I want to be clear with this part of it. We are not here to serve people we're not here to help or to fix anybody when we are in service. When we say that we are helping, what that sets up, in my mind, is sort of a structure of hierarchy that somehow the recipient is incurring some debt in this process of serving them. And when we say that we are here to fix something, the truth of that is that we're saying that I don't believe that you're whole, perfect, and complete. But when we are serving from that place of that equality, and that the divine in me is serving the divine in you, something absolutely shifts. it is a mindset of shared wholeness, that we see that there is no giver and no receiver, but only the divine in circulation. So when I was in my early 20s, this was kind of like that time in my life where it's coming of age for me, and a lot of defining moments that set the stage for the trajectory of where I am now as a minister. So when I was, and I wasn't, I was a real gem back then. And I remember we were coming up on Thanksgiving, and the only thing that was going through my mind is, we typically have Thanksgiving dinner with my family, and the only thing that was going through my mind is, how can I get out of this? How can I get out of going to dinner with my family? And please know that this is not a reflection of my family, more about where I was in my life, and just not wanting to share any of that. So I came up with a brilliant idea. I decided that I was going to sign up to serve in the soup kitchen in Phoenix. Not only was this an amazing excuse to get out of Thanksgiving dinner, but I kind of looked like a hero while I'm doing it too. And so that's what I did. I signed up for a soup kitchen, and it was the first time that I ever served in that way or volunteered in that way. It's called Andre House, a wonderful place, and you are familiar with it. And so I got there, and I remember getting out of my car and walking through a pool of people. They were homeless, and I was terrified. I was thinking, number one, geez, I locked my car, and there was just a lot of judgment going on and a lot of fear going on through it, just walking through the pool of people that were waiting for food. And so I got in there, and we started our work. It was about noon, and I remember the first thing for me to do was to prep the food, start prepping food. We were making a goulash, and so I found myself just loving the conversation that I was having with fellow volunteers and really kind of getting into the spirit of the whole thing. And then my second job was I was behind the counter as the folks came in and sort of sidestepped with their trays, and I would scoop up the goulash and put it on there. And I went through probably about half the folks there when I started recognizing that every one of them was saying, "Thank you so much." Every one of them said the same gracious connection, and it started to have some effect on me. And then after that was finished, my last job was I was to stand by, in the cafeteria, I was to stand by the trash can, and every person would come up, hand me their tray, and my job was to bash it against the trash can and then put it in the window that was behind me, which led to a industrial dishwasher. Okay, so I specifically intended that I was going to connect with every single person that came up to me, because I was really filled full by that time, and I really wanted to connect on that level. And it was one of the most amazing transformations that I've ever had, because with each person that came up, there was a sense of deep gratitude both for me and for them. One of them even said, "Hey, I was on your side just a couple of months ago." And so there was just such a feeling of connection, and looking into the eyes of the individuals that were coming up to me, seeing God, seeing myself, and knowing that as I serve this person, I serve myself, and I serve the collective whole. And so I have some invitations for us today. A talk would not be complete without invitations for us. And I have three points. Apparently 3 is the number of bullet points that I have for everything. This week, I'm inviting us to reach out to one person that you know that may be in isolation. And I want you just to think about that for a second. Who is it that you would connect? And it is just to offer an act of kindness with no expectation, with no agenda, just love. The second invitation is to try silently blessing every person that you encounter today. Think to yourself, the divine in me sees the divine in you, and that there is something special that is going on regardless of what it is that they are expressing. There is divinity within that person. And last, getting the opportunity to serve, whether it's volunteering or lending a hand, or simply listening, be fully present. See the exchange not as you helping them, but as the sacred meeting of the souls. So from Ken Wilber, in that same book that I was mentioning, he says, when the Eastern sage says that all things are void, or all things are not two, or all things are interpenetrating, she does not mean to deny differences, to overlook individuality, or to see the world as homogeneous junk. The world contains all types of features and surfaces and lines, but they are all interwoven into a seamless field. And I am reminded by that quote, the mystic, I'm forgetting his name, you'll know the quote, when he says, oh my God, Rumi, yes, thank you. Who said that? Awesome. When he said, beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field, and I will meet you there. And so, as we go forth today, may you carry that awareness with you in every act of kindness, in every moment of connection, and may we see past the prism's colors to the light that binds us all, and may we know deeply, deep within, that we are one. Namaste. So it is. And so let's take this into prayer, recognizing that there is an infinite truth that is here and now. It is that divine unity that exists with each one of us, like the breath that I breathe, becoming part of who I am, is everything that surrounds me. It is a part of my expression. It is a part of my being. There is no separation. Only the truth that unity and oneness are here and now. And what I know coming from this place of one, that I act in such a way that supports, that loves, that guides, that brings to light this idea of that infinite one expressing in and through itself and in and through me. It is my nature to know, to be, to share, to have. And so I also bless this amazing, awesome community, knowing that Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott is in their perfect place in their perfect time, and knowing that Reverend Tracy is getting that respite and is just in her perfect place as well. And I know with each breath that I take that all is well and all is good. And with that absolute gratitude that fills my soul here and now, I release this word. I release it in faith. And together we know this truth by saying, and so it is, amen.
And Jackson is in his perfect place, sitting on the beach in California. But he is in California. He's for dead music. So he is in his perfect place.
And thank you, Reverend Jeff. That was amazing. Thank you. Kind friends all gathered round, there's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle and it holds us all inside. Strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. Been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, though I never knew know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Well, love is born in fire and planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you've ever made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. You must give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Thank you.
And give yourself to love. How simple. Thank you so much. And if someone would like to be loved up personally, we offer 3-minute miracles at the end of the service. We ask that when the service is over that you move into Sibley Hall, and there are refreshments there. And then if you would like to spend a couple of minutes with a practitioner, I'm here, Sabrina is here. Are there any other practitioners on duty? No. Okay. Have a seat, and we'll shine a little love and a little of the thoughts of spirit onto whatever is going in, including a celebration. And as we celebrate, let us also decide how we are not only receiving, but giving of ourselves, our time, our talent, our treasure. I would ask if the ushers would please stand. And I don't want to make a money pitch. What I want to do is ask you to look at the value of what you are receiving here today and allow that value and its positive effect, whatever it was, to give some measure that represents in your life what you are receiving from being around here. And let me settle that by offering you to say our affirmation. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you, Tom and Sandra.
So a few years, I guess more than a few years back, on one of the beautiful snows we have here in Prescott, Krista and I one morning went out and walked Lynch Lake. And we were the first steps on the snow walking the lake. It was a really beautiful morning. And we came to one of those places where you can stop and just look out. And I had one of those moments. I call them a Satori moment from the Hinduism. Where I had a moment where it was all there. I just saw it all. I just had one of those perfect moments. And it was really profound. And I rushed home and tried to write it. So I wrote a song.
Not tried, he actually wrote it.
To experience it from distance once you're not in it anymore, kind of thing. So this is a song of mine that I like to play when the snow falls, because it's called Snow Falls, This Moment Pure. The snow falls on, wait, I gotta get the key. On the lake. The snow falls on the lake. The heron slowly flies, and through her eyes I see the world anew. I see it as it was, will be again. The stillness of the trees, the only sound, the wind blown through the leaves. And I am small,
I am small,
and I am great,
I am great,
and I am small.
I am small.
And will I ever know, will I ever know just who I am? Will I
Ever find
ever find my way home again? This restless child,
the restless child,
this holy son,
holy son,
a loving father,
a loving father,
a righteous man,
righteous man. Precious child,
Holy Son,
Holy Son,
a loving husband,
loving husband,
a righteous man,
righteous man,
and I am opening my heart of all desire. I am opening my life, my soul's on fire, and I am free.
I am free.
Chains no more,
Chains no more.
and I am free.
I am free.
This moment pure,
Moment pure.
the snow falls on the lake.
And if the offering could be brought up here, please. And Reverend Jeff, would you do the honors?
I'd be happy to. And so we bless this giving, recognizing the circulation of God that is being represented here and now. And what I know is that it blesses this community. It blesses each individual. It absolutely multiplies for each giver. It multiplies the abundance quotient significantly. I know that this money is taken in good stewardship and that all is represented, that each individual is represented, and that all is well, that God is here and now. I am so grateful for this. I let this be, I let it go, and so it is.
Let's go back up. Okay. Come on up, and then I'll do the other part.
Good morning. It's wonderful to see so many people here today. And anyone who is visiting and is comfortable, we would like you to stand and tell us your name so that we can give you this wonderful CSLP welcome. If you're comfortable, please stand, tell us who you are. Okay. You're a guest anyway, and we welcome you. And in the bookstore, you will find a section of previously owned and read books and much loved books. So please find one, take it with you, enjoy it, and keep it as your own. And then go to Sibley Hall and enjoy refreshments. Introduce yourself to others, and they will introduce themselves to you and have a wonderful time. We are having a meeting after service on Sunday, April the 13th, for all current volunteers, including circle leaders. It'll be held in Sibley Hall, and pizza will be served. Because we're ordering pizza, we would like you to RSVP today, if you will, and either by letting Sabrina know or signing up in the lobby. And any circle leaders who have items they would like announced on Sunday, please let me know by Saturday noon. And I'm going to share a secret. I am one of those student practitioners, and I'm so excited. Thank you.
Who thinks about the 4 agreements when you look at that shirt?
Okay. This has been a good day. We are blessed. And let us bless our way out of here. Make your way to Sibley Hall. Stand, grab a hand, and repeat, and repeat. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we're a family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me, and yes is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternal.